too kind.
I'm Steve Went, and we have a full docket for you tonight, folks. There is plenty going on. Fans are still filling in to State and A here. A beautiful night. Come on out in the patio. We have giveaways. We have tickets for the grudge match tomorrow night. It's huge. The Central Coast Derby. Cal Poly visits Harder Stadium. They have not seen anything like it. It will be intense tomorrow, and it'll be on the radio on this very station, 1490 tomorrow night at 7 p.m. We'll actually have the pregame starting around 6:30 with plenty of action from Harder Stadium as Tim Vomsteeg and the Gauchos try to impress even more than they did the other night versus Indiana, a 3-0 win over the Hoosiers, and plenty of tortillas were tossed. That is for certain. We have one of the hottest teams out at UCSB, well represented tonight on our interviews. We have Dana Vargas, the setter for UCSB's women's volleyball team, and then we'll have her coach sooner than you can get excited for. I mean, it's Kathy Gregory, but Dana, that is something that is kind of fun to talk about, because playing for Kathy Gregory, I would think, has to be a unique experience in and of itself. The energy alone, and someone who was a setter like yourself, that's got to be a double whammy of kind of just good stuff.
Queen of the Beach, there's never a dull moment with her. She's definitely got spunk and personality. It's great. I couldn't have chosen a better school or a better coach.
If you go to ucsbgauchos.com, there's a Talking Gauchos icon, and you can click on it and email questions for our guests. And this is a familiar name. Annette DeHogue from Chino has a question that we'll ask you and Kathy Gregory. And it says, what motivated you as an athlete to go beyond just doing well? Was it pleasing a coach, inner satisfaction, or was it something more than that? Explain what that was, how it keeps you fueled.
Well, I'm a big competitor. You know, I can't play Monopoly because I get so frustrated sometimes. And so, you know, it's personal because I take losing personally,
right.
You know, and so... But it makes it easier when everybody around me is just as competitive. And, you know, there is pressure to win, but I'm not as concerned with, like, my pressures around me, like my parents and my sister, you know, because they've all had such successful careers. And I think that comes with my maturity, is that I'm not as concerned with outside things that I don't have to be, you know. I'm concerned with my team and making sure that we do well.
Well, it is also nice to see you excited about a group of volleyball players this year. I know you guys had a kind of a weird weekend. The flu bug went through your team, but you still nearly pulled off a comeback victory against Long Beach State and then kind of ran out of gas. But you guys are having a strong season, and for you, I don't know, I mean, this may sound a little dramatic, but is it a bit of vindication?
I don't know if it's vindication. I knew that after the 2 seasons that we didn't win, that I had to take a big look at myself and how I was coaching the team and the players I were recruiting, and we made some big changes, and I think that it's paid off. We played a great schedule, but I knew at the beginning of this year that this team was going to be special, mainly because it was the most unselfish group I've had for about 5 or 6 years. There's no real star, although Becca Sarcino is the hitter we go to, but they are all giving, and they put the team first. And so when you have that, you have a chance to have success.
Indoor side, the Gauchos have a really exciting stretch coming up. Basically, over 8 days, you're playing 4 matches. 3 of them are conference matches, and then there's Pepperdine, and always want to kind of stick it to another beach school. Speaking of beach volleyball, you want to let them know if you want to play on the beach when you're not playing in the gym, this is the place to go, right?
Well, yeah, it's a great schedule, and you know, we take them one at a time. We're going to play Cal Poly first,
right.
That is not having the same kind of success because they graduate players. But this league, the Big West, it is back. Last year we took a lot of heat, and it wasn't as good. This year the power ranking of all 4 teams are close to the top 25, and I do believe that 4 or 5 teams will get in, and our power rating has been good. good. So now it's my job to get this team to win the Big West, or at least be in the top 2 or 3, and I think that we'll be back in the NCAAs, and I will be bitterly disappointed if we're not.
Yeah.
So, well.
You ready for your UCSBGauchos.com
Sure.
internet question from Annette DeHoog?
Oh, yes, Annette. I can
Yeah.
imagine what it is.
Well, it's the same question that your setter got. What motivated you as an athlete to do beyond just doing well?
I will tell you that I've always believed you have to have body, mind, and soul, and you have to have all of those attributes. Physically, you have to be in great shape. You have to have the mind and the mental part of the game, and above all, you have to love it and have the soul and have gratitude, and I've had that, and I think that's one of the reasons I've just now got a team to really into that. We have a big poster with that on it, and I think that's what you have to live. You have to live, eat, and sleep that philosophy, and success will come your way.
All right. Well, Kathy, unfortunately, we are out of time.
Oh,
But
she's cut me off, Steve.
I know you're my favorite interview. I say, "How you doing?" and then I go, "Well, unfortunately, we're out of time."
Thank you, Steve.
Kathy, you have you guys. Your team is. I travel with your team, and what a bunch of characters. And it's funny. We're talking with Dana Vargas about be great and that kind of ethos that's out there at UCSB, and that the athletic department has encouraged its athletes not just to show up to games and practice, but also think about ways that you can excel across the board, and it seems like you have a group like that.
We definitely do. Every player is unique. They're all from different backgrounds, most of them are California, but they've grown up in very different households and everything, and one of the things we also like to do is just kind of get them out in the community with whatever community service project we can get them involved with. And a lot of times they'll kind of, shrug like, oh man, it's a Saturday, 1 o'clock, like I wanted to go to a movie. But I think once we get them there, once we're like, all right, let's go, they love it. I mean, the amount of times that we're at an event or we just finished with something and say, that was really fun, thanks guys for setting that up for us, So I think that that's definitely one thing our players, and as well as all the student athletes there, just, hey, get your schoolwork done, get out, give back to whatever group we can do.
And Matt, the College Cup coming to UCSB, and I think if anyone tuned into the broadcast of the game on Fox Soccer Channel Friday night, they saw why the College Cup is coming to UCSB.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't it come here? UCSB led the nation in attendance the past 2 seasons, so it seemed like an obvious choice, and the NCAA finally got it right and sent it to the West Coast, put it at UCSB because they know that they would fill it up. What does Harder Stadium hold? Between over 15,000 people, and it'll definitely be full next December, if not tomorrow night, against Cal Poly.
Well, that's a big match. Tell us what you got on your cheat sheet. What's going on at UCSB Athletics?
Well, we have all kinds of stuff going on. I mean, you touched on it a little bit with the men's soccer being on the air, commercial radio for the first time ever. It's the only school in the nation to do that. Fans can check it out. Also online through our website, UCSBGauchos.com. They can hear you call the games for the remainder of the season. So follow the Gauchos as they run to the NCAA tournament. You'll be there every step of the way, right?
I will be. I'm eager. I was out at practice today, as I mentioned, and I love it. That team, there is an intensity there that spills over. They're still college players, so they're having a little bit of fun, Right. Coaches maybe aren't looking, but I tell you what, Tim Vom Stieg, he looks ready for action tomorrow. He looks like he's ready to suit back up in his old UCSB uni.
Absolutely. I mean, I think this team is a little bit better, though, than when he played.
Well, courtesy of his coach.
Exactly.
That's right. Next Tuesday night at State and A, as it's Talking Gauchos, and we're looking forward to talking with Paul Stumpf, UCSB women's soccer coach, Tom Myers, associate head baseball coach at UCSB, and much, much more. That's Talking Gauchos, Progressive Talk 1490, and you can always catch the highlights at UCSBGauchos.com.
Thank you, far too kind.